give you a little bit more light. Okay, I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to get deep now. I want you to tell me the ghost story.
The what?
The ghost story.
Ghost story.
The ghost story.
The one in England?
Yes.
Yeah. This is true.
This is a true story, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Donovan's brother and my good friend Stuart Lawrence, his mom and dad had a guest house on the Eaton High Street. You can look out the door and see the Windsor Castle. I went over because Stuart was getting married, and we were all kind of like this little Warwick Embry, Doug Nelson, Stuart Lawrence, Al Stabile, me, you know, we're all kind of like a running buddies, you know. Anyway, Stuart was getting married, and everybody was in California at this time, and was going to take place outside of Eaton, this beautiful church. Well, everybody's already there a day before me. And I showed up and went from Heathrow straight to the Eaton guest house. And they were all there, you know, sitting in the lounge, having a jar and everything, and smoking and talking and carrying on. I said, I gotta go up the stairs. And I was in number 11, room number 11. So it's a guest house. I mean, this is like, it goes back, you know, 12th century for sure. And Eaton is a beautiful town. I mean, there's a lot went down there, you know, the fighting cock and all this stuff. But anyway, a lot of history. I went on upstairs, and it was the bedroom was just a one single bed, and then I could reach out and touch the wall. You know, the bedroom wasn't very wide at all. You know, maybe 7 feet, and just long enough to have a vanity at the foot. You know, it's a typical B&B thing. You know, in England. But I closed the door, and they're all downstairs, you know, doing their thing. And I had a Country Life magazine. I was looking at it, and I said, I gotta go to sleep and get a little rest, you know, for this wedding. Took my Country Life magazine, folded it, laid it over there, and I went on my side. I was laying on my side, and it was like as clear as a bell. At the door, and I said, "Go away, man. I'm I'm trying to get some rest." And it went again, and then it sounded like wind blowing through a giant chandelier like this big, and this chandelier went off, and I rolled over because it was knocking on my door. I thought it was one steward or somebody down there messing with me, and I rolled over, and a ball of light about the size of a golf ball came through the door and went right down the side of my bed and then right to the end of it. And I was looking at it, and I went, what the hell? And all of a sudden, this thing washed over me, and I saw it was like my body had been taken over by a pirate, for lack of. I could see his face right now. He had a beard, and I went to scream. He had occupied my body. I went to scream, and he went, ha, ha, ha. But deeper than that came from down in here in my body. Freaked me out. I said, get out of here. Freaked out, man. I mean, the hair, if I had hair, they'd be standing up right now. But it went poof, like that. Turned into the light and went poof, just like that. That was it. I went downstairs, and Alec and Vi were down there. And I said, no, why didn't you guys tell me that it was a ghost up here? And she said, you're in number 11. He only just comes at number 9. And he only comes to Violet, Stuart's mom. And Alec has to spin her around counterclockwise. But he was in number 9. Well, I said he's in number 11 today. And so I went and hung out with the guys for a while, and then I got a deck of cards from downstairs. I was going to go back up, and I went upstairs. I said, all right, my man, if you're here, I'm going to have a hand of cards with you, all right? Come on out here. Everything's cool. And then there was nothing else ever after that.
You spent the night in the room?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wasn't going to hurt me. I know that he just want to occupy this space for a while.
We have
what can I say?
We have another. Actually, you have another ghost story that same thing happened. Well, not the same thing, but another ghost story from Eton, where we were staying when we went to England. Remember?
Oh hell! Yeah. Coco and I went to England here a few years ago. Went to France and wound up going to England, and we stayed in this great big place, and it's in Eton, wasn't it?
Eton.
And we're just gonna go looking around and stuff. And this was it was cold. But
Sean came to see us.
Huh?
Sean came to see us there.
Yeah, Sean came to see us as well.
And Melanie, yeah.
And we had a nice dinner and just hanging out and just talking, and then it come time to go to bed, and this place is real old, okay, real old, and great big. It kind of looks like the one in The Shining, but only about a fourth the size of that. And got a giant roaring fireplace.
They woke us up 3 nights in a row with fire.
Yeah, and we got woke up 3 nights in a row with fire alarms going off. The craziest thing, But walking to the bedroom, down this, up a little flight of stairs and then back down again.
Not with me at the time.
I was going, and I saw there was a woman at the bottom of the stairwell. Just like I could see her at the bottom of the stairwell, sitting down, and had a veil. I went on to the
front desk or something.
Yeah, and I told them what I had seen, and they all went pale because it turned out that there was a fire like several hundred years ago. And this girl who was a handmaid, a foot maid or something.
She was one of the maids in the old part of the hotel.
In the old part of the hotel, there was a diary. Her diary was there.
It caught fire.
The whole place caught fire, and her diary was there. And she rushed back in to get her diary, and she perished at the foot of those stairs. And they were all freaked out. Lights were all the lights stayed on.
They told you about it.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me about it.
No, I didn't tell her about it. But when I went back and laid in the bed, I could hear this noise. It's going. It's like whispering in my ear. It was chilling, I tell you. and all those people met, and the girl that we met, Boglartha, she was staying in the old part of the hotel. Everybody was freaked out because.
And then after that, I slept in my clothes.
I mean, every time we go to sleep, the fire alarm would go off, and all 25 people who were staying in this 200-room hotel were all mustered out into the dead of night.
Wow. The last time I wouldn't go out. I refused.
No, that's absolute truth, though.
It was freezing and it was
raining.
Both
these stories are true, And Stuart has the guest house. That's Donovan's brother-in-law, and Don's wife, Linda's brother. And we all go back to 1969, you know. And
But in George's place, there was supposed to be a lot of ghosts there. And
it's Sir Francis Crisp. I never saw him, but someone said that, and he's the guy that built Friar Park, and he was a pretty eccentric fellow. And I got to go through the whole of Friar Park with George. Discover
the
caves and the underground stream with the stalactites and stalagmites.
When he first got it.
Yeah, he'd only just got it, and he and Patty were living in the second gatehouse. There was one gatehouse, and it had George's brother living in it, and he was a gardener, head gardener, turned out to be. And then had the other, and then while they was working on the big house. And they would just do like one area at a time. And so they weren't quite living in there yet, but part of the time. And the whole place was opened up. It had about 101 rooms. But we went out, and one day George and I and walked way out into actually it's on the front of All Things Must Pass, that big lawn, you know. But you go just past there and there's a big stone. And it's right before you get to all the trees, there's a big stone, and you go around that stone, and then you go to the hole, and you go down in this hole, and then you're in this underground cave with a stream coming by, and it's got stalactites and stalagmites, and it was just an amazing thing. And we're walking down through this thing, and then it comes out on this pond. Suddenly you're out in this pond, with all of this vegetation, beautiful vegetation around. There's some photos of George sitting by that pond as well, and you can see the place in the Friar Park in the background. And then it goes back down under the ground again, and then it goes on, and then it comes out in a cave like as big as this house, that's attached to Friar Park itself. Really crazy place, a lot of fun to explore, you know. And I got to go. As a matter of fact, we were talking the other day about All Things, and I remember that going in the music room with George and Patty and Terry Dorian and listening to the final mix of the master mix of All Things Must Pass. You know, pretty cool experience, I gotta say. Drinking, you know, Bell Scotch whiskey and green ginger wine.
How did they feel? How did they feel about that? How did George? Did he like it?
Oh, everybody loved it. Yeah.
George was happy with the record.
Yeah. You know, I think he got a little unhappy or disenchanted with what was going on because everybody else saying all this stuff, you know, about the wall of sound. Well, hell, we had a wall of sound within just the musicians. So, but it was what he wanted at that point in time, you know. And it worked. I love it. I love the sound of it and everything. You know, the sound of all of that. It was just great, you know. Real unique.
Yeah. Well, I was getting back to the ghost story. When we stayed in Eaton in that hotel, I can't remember the name of the hotel now, but we found out later that she is a famous ghost.
The Berkshire.
Girl,
it was the Berkshire Hotel.
No, I have to look it up. But the girl is the girl with the blue veil. You can actually find
her.
You can find her online.
Yeah, the girl with the blue veil.
Yeah.
I saw her. She had a veil on and everything.
And you didn't even know about. We did not know about it.
No, didn't know anything about it. the hotel manager and all of them, they all like got real.
It was scary. It was scary.
It was kind of scary. I got to tell you right now.
I was terrified. I didn't.
Oh my goodness, we've really had some interesting experiences in our life together, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm glad I missed that one ghost that came through the door, though.
Oh, that was something else. I mean, but he was there, and.
I have my own ghost story from England, and I won't tell it here, but. Yeah, it was.
I'll have to get you on the other side of the camera to do that reverse thing, you know. I don't know if it does that.
Anyway, say good night.
Good night. It's been fun.